Let's go, Gamera! 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 Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat. We've been eating Gamera. Shell, teeth, eyes, flames, claws, breath, scales, fun.
いったぞついたぞゴーゴーゴー泣いているとね体当たり強いぞカメラ強いぞカメラ強いぞカメラ
An atomic explosion awakens Gamera, a giant fire-breathing turtle monster from his millions of years of hibernation. Enraged at being roused from such a sound sleep, he takes it out on Tokyo. The flying, fire-eating turtle ravages the city in an unstoppable wave of destruction, until at the suggestion of a precocious young lad named Kenny, the Japanese military employs the dreaded Plan Z. They lure Gamera into a missile silo and launch him into outer space. This is the end of the movie, but is it the end of Gamera?
Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat. We've been eating Gamera.
All right, folks. Today on Kaiju Carousel, we have a man of distinction, a man of class, a man whose erudition can match the depth, the power of the masterpiece that we're reviewing today, Gamera. So let's bring him on, Professor Veritas.
Thank you very much, Jack. I'm so glad to be here on your Master Geek Theater, ready for Kaiju Carousel and Gamera.
What did you think about the movie, and is this the first time you've seen it?
This is the first time I've seen this Gamera film. My father was really interested also in Kaiju, and he played Gamera for me, and I watched it as a child. Gamera flew away on his own will. I began to cry, and it was very touching. So this is the first time I watched the actual first Gamera film. Let's just say that now I know why he's come from outer space.
In this movie, he's clearly different than he's ever gonna be. He's eating flame, he's intaking energy, he's wrecking cities, he's blasted into outer space, and he's in glorious black and white.
Yes, he looked really hangry, and I think Tokyo or Japan paid the price.
Someone needs to get him a Snickers. What did you think of the design of the turtle?
I loved the monstrousness of it, the prehistoric look to it. The shell had sort of these serrated edges to it. It looked sharp. It looked dangerous. He looked kind of like a snapping turtle almost. Best part of it was these huge eyes on his face that could see for seemingly miles away, and then coming down these two gigantic tusks like a woolly mammoth rising from the Arctic Circle. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was bold.
So in this film, he's a destructive, mostly villain character.
Yes.
He has, as he will in every film, a sidekick. In this one, it was Kenny. What did you think of Kenny?
I thought Kenny was a problem, an issue for Japan. The other academicians and doctors and heck, even the UN was listening to Kenny at the most inopportune times. I think they really paid the price and suffered a bit for Kenny's childhood ignorance and boyishness, his naivete.
Yeah, I don't think Kenny is up for Emperor anytime soon. The other thing
maybe
is
the Emperor's fool.
how they got rid of Gamera.
Yes.
I mean, they try like 4 different plans. Turn him on his back, like he's a regular turtle, even though the drunken farmer saw him fly. Finally, they just lock him in and shoot him to Mars with Plan Z.
Yes.
What'd you think of Plan Z?
I thought Plan Z was a little silly, and it was a very much something that Gamera could have probably easily eaten the rocket fuel, easily eaten whatever was going on around him. They really had to kind of dumb him down or kind of lower his energy and his powers for that very final, I'm not going to say Deus Ex Machina, but it was definitely something that I think Gamera could have defeated that trap quite easily, because he was defeating everything that was much more difficult to get through. So I think they should have used the freeze bombs on him to freeze him, then capture him, then launch him. That would have made sense.
My favorite shot in the movie is when Gamera's being led like a donkey's led with a carrot. You just see him coming through the water, gobbling up the flame as it's shooting up in front of him. What was your favorite shot?
I saw a giant prehistoric Pac-Man going by and chomping on the flames in the water, just his mouth wide open, and it was a great shot. It was great comical relief. For me though, I think one of the greatest shots that just sticks with me is when the Eskimo kind of looks into the camera or looks away just a bit and looks completely and utterly hopeless. And this was foreshadowing of what was to come for humanity, that these ancient tribe knew and had records of Gamera and where he came from, where he's defeated. And so he was first sort of vision of Gamera being this terrible, awesome force of nature. He came from the sky. He did all kinds of things back in the ancient world. They had this piece with all that record on there. And so I really like that kind of connection to the Eskimo tribe up there at the Arctic. And that face of dread, of doom, was one of my favorite shots because it just let us know that this was not going to go well for humanity.
Thanks for coming and talking about this cultural touchstone. Talking about this very penetrating and intellectual film.
Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat. We've been eating Gamera.